Hello. Today I'm at the Lilly Loch, which is just outside Caldercruix. Got the train up. It's only 10 minutes from Airdrie. It's about a 15-20 minute walk from the station up to the loch here. I'll give you a wee look at it in a minute. They've been doing a lot. They did do a lot of work on the dam last year, the last 2 years actually. So the path's been renewed at this part. Let's have a look. Just turn this round so you can see the loch. I was up a few days ago. I'll try and stick a bit of the drone footage in that I took then. Really nice and calm today. One thing about getting your water from a loch when you're away camping and things, you must purify it. Boil it, pure tabs, as much as you can if it's from a source like this. There's a dead sheep in there, which is not pleasant. But the loch is. So my plan today is to do a bit of navigation training. Feel as if you get a wee bit rusty with the map and compass if you've not been out for a while, so I thought I'd bring it out. So I've printed off a map. Got one of these. This is what I'm using as a map case at the moment. It's one of these Life Venture dry store bags. Really cheap. You can put tablets and phones in them as well because they're touchscreen compatible. But it's a very lightweight map case, especially if you're only printing off A4 size sheets. It's excellent. Folds up into your pocket, rolls up, really good. So that's the map for today. That's the area that we're going to be walking around. Now, when I went to use my compass last night, getting my gear together, I noticed there's a rather large bubble in it. I don't know if you can see that. Just here. A bubble will knock off the accuracy of your compass. If the needle is going to point where the bubble is, it's going to nudge it off slightly, which doesn't help. That's quite a big bubble. So I'm going to try an experiment today. I'm going to take one of these hand warmers and I'm going to put it in beside it, because sometimes if you heat up the compass, it will get rid of the bubble. So once you've opened these, give them a shake to activate them. It takes a wee while before they start giving off the heat. Then I'm going to pop it in beside the compass. And just see whether it has any effect on reducing the size of that bubble. So I'm going to head off around the far side of the loch, and we're going to take the right of way over to Mount Cow, and we'll do a wee bit of navigation on the way. Now, when the Scottish Canals did the work on the dam, they had to lower the water level. And when they lowered the water, they destroyed the bridge that was here. So there was a bridge which was built right across there. You can probably see at the far side where it came out. So you could come up and do a nice circular walk of the loch. That's not possible now. Well, not unless you go up and around there and I don't think there's a gate at the far side, so it really does limit you as to whether you can do a circular walk or not. If you're not good with fences, then probably not. Well, I'll see what the situation is when I go around there. So whenever you're using a map and a compass to navigate, you have to consider whether there's going to be a difference between the grid magnetic angle between the map and the compass. So I'm just checking because I know it's been really low. I haven't used this for a while. The thing with printing off paper maps is it doesn't come with the GMA on it, the grid magnetic angle, but you can get these online. And this is telling me that it's around 1 degree west, which means for our purposes today it's pretty negligible, so I won't be having to do any grid to mag add or mag to grid get rid or anything like that. So it's pretty much as you see it on the map. Anyone who was taught the grid to mag add, mag to grid get rid, that was correct in the UK at the time. It's no longer the case. Okay, the right of way takes a turn here. So we've came from over there, round this path, and we've come to here where the right of way heads up here. And what you will notice is that the right of way has been blocked by a locked padlock. There used to be a stile here. The stile is broken, and there is barbed wire along the top, which just isn't on. There's also an electric fence here. That's to stop you getting electrocuted. So in this case, luckily, there's a hole in the fence. But if that is repaired, then you're looking at climbing, which shouldn't be on. There should be a stile or some way to slip through. Or simply that the gate should be working and you should be able to use the gate. But that's not the case here. So it's possible to get round. There is a gate here, you can get into that field and get round the loch that way. But again, you'll have to climb a fence when you get down there. So the right of way goes up there. The bubble's still in the compass just now, so I have a backup compass. So at the moment, so we've came round the loch, followed the burn up, and the burn now meets this track here, passes underneath. That's there. We have Drumfin Hill, which is there, and Alice Hill over here. And at this end of Alice Hill here, you see this re-entrant. So if I wanted to go to that, I'm going to put the compass along the line of where I am just now to where I want to go to. And then just turn it until the lines are parallel with the lines on the grid. Okay, and there's no need to make any adjustment for the grid magnetic angle. Put the red in the shed, as they say. Arrow's pointing there, and that's pointing to where we want to go. So if I was wanting to go over there, that's how I would get there, if I was taking a bearing, which is useful at night. Obviously today I can see where I want to go, no need for it. Another map reading technique is to thumb the map, and it's to orientate the map as you go, keeping your thumb roughly where you are. So I'm orientating the map with this path. As I see when I come up here, I'm expecting to have a sort of turn off to the left. And here we go. And as I arrive at that left turn, I move my thumb up and I reorientate the map. There's a little kink in the path coming up. But before that, there's a little thing marked there like an enclosure, and that's this line here. Used to be a farm up here. If you look back in the historical maps you can find that. I'm going to switch back to the 1 to 50,000 map. So we're down here, and there's a building showing up here with a track running off from it. That's the building up there at the top of the hill. So our path takes us up here, and then there's a track. We should expect to see that. These are waypoints that we can use when we're navigating to tick off as we go. So I'm going to do something called a linear resection. The path that I showed you on the map there, I know that I'm on that path somewhere. I've got somewhere on a line, some long path. You know that you're on it, but you don't know exactly where. But you can see something in the distance, and over there I can see a wind turbine. So from here, because it's only a single turbine, I can take a bearing on that and then reverse it, and where it cuts into the path, that should give me my position. So I'm going to take a bearing on that just now. I'm going to move away from that metal fence as well because it can interfere with the compass. Now we don't need to adjust the compass because there's the grid magnetic angle is negligible at the moment. So I have my path, I have the wind turbine, and I'm going to line that up. And sure enough, that's where I am on the path. That's called a linear resection. Quite handy if you're on a long feature and you're not sure exactly where you are on it. not easy using rights of way in North Lanarkshire. So I'm coming along to the top of this track. I showed you on the map earlier. I said you got to the building and there was another path came off. That's down there. You can see it just going down to those old bins for the main workings. Apparently coal used to be loaded on here and taken by an aerial ropeway down to Annie's Hill. Where it could then be loaded onto the trains. Looks like toilets. In fact, it looks like the current toilets at Somerset Park. If you're in any way overweight, this route would try, or if you've got a large bag. Okay, and that's us at the end. Should be a sign here showing that it's the end of the right way. In fact, it should show that Caldercruix is that way. But it doesn't. Went missing a number of years ago and has never been replaced. Just look at this crap here. So much rubbish along these roads. Cans, bottles. Builder's rubbish, always a favourite out here. In the northern hemisphere, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west, passes to the south, so it passes across the southern sky. And its highest point is at midday, which means that at 12 o'clock, which it is now, the sun is due south, which means that you can set your map by the position of the sun. So from my position here, I should be able to orientate the map, and if I see a symbol on the map for a particular place, then by just looking up I should be able to see that within my line of sight. So West of Brackle Farms there. The transmitters are over there. So if I keep the map orientated and I move round the map, the hut, or the old mine building that we were at earlier, should be there, and there it is, right on the line. So that's how you would orientate your map using the sun. The sun moves constantly, but it moves about an arm's width within the hour. So if you hold your hand out, hold your arm out full, open up your fingers, place it against the sun, that's where it's going to be in an hour. That's where it was an hour ago. So at 1 o'clock we should be able to work out our position. We should still be able to orientate our map. As long as we've got a watch and we know the time, we can orientate our map using the sun. If you can see it, that is Scotland. Now, I'm currently at this corner where my thumb is. I want to go to this little pond here. So I've taken a bearing, taken a bearing from the map. I can't see the pond, so I'm going to follow that bearing and see if I can find it. So distance, about 400 metres. So let's go and have a look. Now, this being rough ground, I don't want to be walking along like this, trying to hold a compass and keep a bearing. Get the bearing, line up the compass and set it. I'm going to pick an object in the distance that lines up with that. So over in the distance there's a cairn, or some kind of cairn, and to the right of that there is a dark patch on the ground, and that's where my arrow is pointing. So I'm going to head over there. Let's see how we go, see if this takes us in line with the pond. The good thing with doing this is that you can actually watch what you're doing. You can watch your foot placement, check where you're stepping, and just glance up and check that you're still on the right line. Now at night, or in fog or snow, you might have to pick things that are a lot closer to you and keep redoing the bearing. at the moment, because we're on what you've got over there is a convex slope, so I can't see what's at the bottom of that. You've got a convex slope there, so I can't see if I am going in the right direction. But once we get to the top of that slope, hopefully we'll be able to see we're going to the right place. And this ground is pretty tricky. Back in a minute. So because of the ground, I had to box around here. I brought myself back onto the original line, so that piece of dark ground on the hillside there that I was aiming for is over there. We have a pond. Make my way across to the woods there. I know that there's some paths cut into the trees, so I'm going to try and take one of them. I'm going to try and make my way across here first. Yeah, it can be a bit tricky because of the ground. You can see all the sort of wetter parts there, the dark bits, so I'm going to try and make my way over there. Let's see if we can get across this fence. That wasn't as bad as I expected. Okay. A lot of quad bike tracks here. They probably follow these inspection channels that are cut into the trees. Let's see if we can find the way up. And there we go. These are fantastic shortcuts. I'm told these are called inspection channels, and they are cut so that they can come in and check the health of the trees. You can see the horrendous damage done by quad bikes here. Absolutely mental. A hare and a kestrel up here. No deer today. There goes a kestrel. Keep this distance. It's now 1 o'clock, so I now run from noon. So if we use the technique I showed you earlier, we should be able to work out where south is and orientate the map. So let's give it a go. Okay, the sun is over there, so I'm going to hold my hand out. Hopefully where the sun is. Pick something that's in line with that. So, yeah. So there's a tree down there, in line with that. So lined up there. Which brings us in line with the tree. There. So let's check and see whether we're orientated. There's the transmitters. And if I go in a line here, there's the wind turbine. So that's one method of roughly orientating the map to show south, north, west and east to get it orientated. So I mentioned earlier about the compass having a bubble in it. So I'll put the heat pad in beside the compass. It's been about 2 hours now. Let's have a look. Okay, the bubble is tiny. It's not far off being gone, and that's significantly better. It makes the compass usable again. So put that, if you have the compass, it's got a bubble in it. If you're at home, wrap it in a dish towel, it's a towel, put it on the radiator, leave it for a little while. And the towel will protect the compass from the radiator. This is just a different way. It's strange, but this footpath seems to be repeatedly blocked by fallen trees at the same spot. I had to come and clear it before. This tree here had to be cut down, which was blocking the path. What? Well, that's me about finished. I've got some road walking to do to get back. So thanks for joining me. I hope you found some of the things useful in the video. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to see or any questions you have about map reading, and I'll try and answer them for you. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye bye.